Hello, CTK students. Welcome to another week of Michigan Experience class. Today, we are going to discuss industry in Michigan. If you don't know what industry means, what it means is basically how do people, companies, etc., make money living here? So how do people make money? What brings money to Michigan? So in Michigan actually has currently three major industries. One of them is manufacturing, another one is tourism, and the third one is agriculture. So we're going to go ahead and start with talking about the first one, manufacturing. I think we may have talked about this recently before, but Michigan is considered an automotive capital. And that is because it has rich history with the big three automakers. So there's a main three: General Motors, Chrysler, and Ford Motor, which all began in Michigan in the first quarter of the 20th century. Michigan is home to 17% of total US vehicle production and 11% of North American vehicle production. Michigan is also home to two world-class vehicle testing sites, leading the nation in testing and development of next-generation transportation technology. Basically just meaning that we have sites where we are learning how to make cars even better, even more high-tech, even safer, and we're continuing to innovate and in that area. So that's a very main industry here in Michigan. You probably know a few people who actually work at one of these big three companies. There's also other manufacturing in Michigan other than automotive. Michigan also manufactures a wide variety of other products, including fabricated metals, machinery, food and beverage products, and chemicals. Manufacturing employs more than 629,000 people and contributes 19% of the state's gross domestic product. So on here, I just put a big picture of one of the factories here in Michigan. And you can see it says Kellogg. You can see the Kellogg's cornflake rooster on the side. And I just included some of the food manufacturing because those are the ones that you're probably most familiar with. Little Caesars, Domino's, pickles, baby food, and cereals and burners. I'm sure you've seen almost all of those food products, and they are all manufactured here in Michigan, and then they're also sold here in Michigan, and then they're also brought out of the state and sold all over the whole nation. Our second main industry is tourism. Tourism basically means, what do people do for fun? And they have to come, they have to spend money to have fun. So the tourist business is one of Michigan's largest income producers. In 2017, travelers in Michigan spent about $22.3 billion, generating $3.6 billion in state and local taxes and accounting for almost 200,000 jobs statewide. At one time, tourism was primarily a summer season activity, along with several weeks of bird and deer hunting in the fall. But really, tourism now has developed into a year-long industry. So here on this slide, I included a map. It's called a tourism map. And if you look here, you can just see what some people come to see, that we have all the lighthouses here on the lake shore. A lot of people will go about looking at those. You can see the Henry Ford car here in Detroit. Lots of people come to see the Henry Ford Museum or Greenfield Village. Grand Rapids, they have a big botanical gardens there, Mackinac Bridge, Mackinac Island. So it's just lots of different things that people here in Michigan will go see, as well as people from outside of Michigan will come and see. And I think we talked about this in our very first class. You see this picture here that says Pure Michigan. That's kind of Michigan's tourism logo. So if you start keeping your eyes peeled and you look around, while you're driving around, or maybe you're in a lobby of some building, you might see brochures that say Pure Michigan with a really beautiful picture of Michigan. That's Michigan will actually advertise all over the nation. Pure Michigan. It's basically saying, look at all these beautiful things and fun things we have, come visit, because that we can make money that way. Yeah, so just keep your eyes peeled for that, and point it out to your parents if you see it. So I was talking about how it used to be in Michigan, it was just during the summer where it was warm, people would come and enjoy the nice weather and the beautiful scenery. But really, every season, Michigan offers something for tourists. Winter brings skiing, skating, ice fishing, small game hunting, and snowmobiling. Spring means trout and bass fishing and getting the boat ready for summer and all its traditional sports. I also had to include on there the summer picture of all those people on the beach, as well as my favorite season in Michigan, fall, with all the beautiful colors. A lot of people will travel into northern Michigan and the Upper Peninsula to see the really beautiful, bright, vibrant fall leaf color, because of the nature of the soil. The farther north you go, you get more brilliant, beautiful fall colors. So people will travel very far just to drive through and see that. And when they're here in Michigan, they're going to spend money on food, they're going to buy souvenirs, they're going to stay in a hotel. And that is how Michigan will make money. Sightseeing at both historic and natural landmarks continue to increase every year. The third category is agriculture, which basically means like farming, things that are grown or raised here, and then we take those products and sell them. So the food and agriculture industry contributes about $104.7 billion annually to Michigan's economy. So that is a lot of money. It makes up a large portion of the state's workforce, with approximately over 800,000 workers, which accounts for about 17% of the state's total employment. In spite of urban expansion into farm acres, the state still has about 48,000 farms, totaling just under 10 million acres. That's a lot of land. Michigan produces more than 300 commodities on a commercial basis and leads the nations in the production of asparagus, black and cranberry beans, cucumbers, which if you remember, I think in the very first class, I had that cool fact about pickles in Michigan and how we're a #1 producer of them. Tart cherries, Niagara grapes, and squash. We are second only in diversity to California, meaning we grow lots of different fruits and vegetables, a lot, and we sell a lot of them, and we're only second behind California, which is a very large state with very nice weather throughout most of the state. So that's pretty incredible. So this map here shows kind of the location where a lot of these things are grown. For instance, you'll see a lot of these items here, like farming fruits and vegetables down here in the Lower Peninsula. Because it's warmer, we get less snow. Not that those things can't be grown in the Upper Peninsula, but the Upper Peninsula is known for harvesting a lot of trees and maple syrup and things like that. Yeah, and then I also just included some of the top things we're also known for: apples, cherries, and blueberries. Because if you've ever been to Traverse City, I think a lot of times they're called the cherry capital of the world because they're known for producing the highest number of tart cherries, not like a sweet cherry that you would put on your ice cream, but a tart cherry that you have to add sugar to, and you can use them in pies and things like that. So just pretty interesting. I thought this was an interesting fact that I didn't know about, but part of agriculture is growing things, and you can grow Christmas trees. And Michigan actually ranks 3rd nationwide in the production of Christmas trees. And I've actually seen other statistics that actually said we were 1st and 2nd, so I don't know exactly, but it's up there. We grow a lot of Christmas trees, contributing 1.55 million fresh Christmas trees to the national market annually. That means every year. Growers sell more than 9 varieties of trees, generating an annual farm gate value of more than $27 million. That is so much money. So yeah, Christmas tree farms, that's the thing. You can go and see how they planted all these Christmas trees in nice clean rows. And then they harvest them, cut them down, and you know, a lot of our Christmas trees are brought to nearby states, like even like Chicago, which is a very large city. They don't have room for Christmas trees in Chicago, so we have the right weather for it. And so we bring those Christmas trees to Chicago and we sell them, and we make a lot of money that way. I thought that was pretty interesting. Another aspect of our agriculture is dairy. It is a significant aspect of Michigan's agriculture, with dairy farms contributing $15.7 billion to the state's economy. In 2018, it ranked 5th in the nation in production of milk per cow. It's 424,000 dairy cows contributed across nearly 1,800 dairy farms. Each produced an average of 26,340 pounds of milk per year. Michigan ranked 5th in the nation for total production, and its 11.17 billion pounds of milk were produced at a value of $1.66 billion, ranking 6th in the US. So that's a lot of milk, and because you need milk for lots of different things, not just drinking milk, but yogurt, ice cream, cheese. So dairy cows are a very important part of Michigan's industry. That's how we are also able to make a lot of money. So if you travel anywhere in the UP, sorry, not in the UP, but anywhere in Michigan, and you're driving down the highway, you'll see lots of farms that look like this. And a lot of times, if you just roll down your window and take a big smell, you'll know if you're close to a dairy farm. You'll smell the wonderful air from the cows, and you'll know, oh, there's a dairy farm. They're getting milk there. So, yeah, so it's just kind of fun. Yeah, so that is our 3 main areas of industry here in Michigan currently. Yeah, so this week, what I'd like you to do is I'm going to include just a short YouTube video about a dairy farm here in Michigan that I'd like you to watch with your parents, or at least have your parents nearby. And then for your assignment this week, you have an option. I have a coloring sheet of a farmer that your parents can print off for you to color, or I'm going to include directions on how to make homemade butter. Pretty easy. All you need is heavy cream, which is like a milk, a jar, and then if you have a marble to throw in the jar, you can actually just shake that jar with the heavy cream and it will make butter. And that would be pretty fun, because there's a good chance that that milk or heavy cream you got could be from Michigan. And I would like you to have your parent post one of those pictures to Slack so we can see one of those choices that you have picked, just so we know you're watching the video and you guys are learning. I think that's it for today, guys. I look forward to talking to you guys again next week. Look forward to Mrs. Carnes teaching on Thursday, and I will talk to you again soon. All right, bye CTK.